The following program is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. You can request podcast topics, enjoy exclusive RPG and video content, and more. Even just $1 a month gets you gameplay episodes a week early and makes you officially cool. Just like our Trash Elite, a guy from Ohio, and Rob, Kitty Holbrook, Drake Starstorm, DG, Passion Killer 711, Destrucity KTL, and Thomas Austin Jr. Greetings and salutations. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by the boy.
Hi.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. Today we're talking about AEW presents Forbidden Door London 2025. Say it with me now.
It was mid.
I had no plan for what anyone was going to say after I said say it with me. Now I don't know why I said that. Thank you for delivering.
No problem.
Yeah. Still trying to recover from lingering throat injuries after my sickness. Before we get into this show, let's have a very brief, what's crumping? What's crumping with you?
I haven't tried anything new video games wise since the last time we crumped. I haven't started any new books of any interest since the last time we crumped. I have not started watching any new shows of interest since the last time we crumped. I'm very boring. You?
I watched the season 1 of The Punisher. That was half of a pretty good show.
And the other half?
Really unnecessary self-insert fanfiction. It felt like. I know it wasn't, but that's what it felt like.
I watched this many years ago. I don't know that I could offer up a coherent opinion about it at this point. I remember liking it quite a bit.
We might eventually do some kind of podcast on some kind of Marvel catch-up. I don't know. We'll talk about it then.
I've watched the first episode of Punisher like 2 or 3 times trying to rewatch it. I never get past episode 1.
It's such a complete story.
It's really good, but like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Other than that, I picked up Rock Band today in an attempt to get over my throat issues by working out that muscle. And it's the first time I played it in well over a year, probably a year and a half at this point. It was missed. It was fun, and it helped me work out my issues. So, that's what's crumpin'. Let's get into what's bumpin', and that's AEW wrestlers when they are forced to take a move.
In the case of some people, like the Hurt Lock, like the Hurt Syndicate, indeed forced to take a move, I guess.
This show happened early in the day.
Yeah, I'm the only one who watched the pre-show.
I'm nocturnal. I am a creature of the night. That possum, that's me. I'm not 8 bits in real life, but that's what I look like.
I'm a robot.
I'm sorry, that's 32 bits. I just did my thing. I just did my own pet peeve. I'm mea culpa. All right, go ahead and continue.
I might have a rest cycle, but it's much shorter. So, I watched the pre-show so that someone could give an opinion on it. I'm going to give my, if you care about a spoiler-free review of a wrestling show, I'm going to give my spoiler-free review, take up the whole show right along with the pre-show. Not great build into this pay-per-view. Nothing build-wise that was standout. Some things were stupid, some things were fine, nothing was excellent. There are some characters I like regardless of that. But I'm going to do my best to be honest and forthright with you people. Nothing in the build to Forbidden Door was particularly great. This, however, is perfectly standard for Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door has trash builds. That is a feature of the pay-per-view for some reason. The matches, however, were mostly pretty good. The match of the night was not the match I expected it to be. And the pre-show was right along in that line. Like, it wasn't any better or any worse than the rest of the show.
I would largely agree with that. The action was about as good as I expected. Sometimes AEW can miss the ball a little bit, and it can dip to average.
Sometimes AEW puts on what for them is a shitty match. It's usually about as good as your average WWE pay-per-view match. Normally, they do much, much better than that. I don't want to disregard that. Good pro wrestling is part of the reason we still watch AEW and not something else.
I literally, like a month ago, I don't remember if I mentioned it on the podcast or not, I tried to watch an episode of Monday Night Raw.
And it was...
And I got like halfway through it, and the worst Sheamus versus Miro match I have ever seen. And
And that's saying something. There's a lot of those.
It was really slow and bad. Nothing was funny except for Dominic Mysterio. Nothing was good except for Dominic Mysterio. I had to go. I didn't want to be there anymore. Sometimes you need that reminder. Now, did it make AEW any better? No. This pay-per-view is, if you like action and you give a shit about New Japan stuff, that might elevate your opinion of this pay-per-view.
This is, I believe, the same take we've given for the last all of the Forbidden Doors. If you care about New Japan stuff, this is crack cocaine for you.
Well, not this one less so, though, because there wasn't that much New Japan stuff here.
Nah, they still had Tanahashi. They still had the New Japan champion in a match.
Yeah, like, it was something.
They had the War Dogs, who I gather are a thing. They had a couple other guys who I specifically asked the person in our Discord who is the local New Japan expert to explain to me. And he did a great job explaining why this person was cool and I should care, and it really helped. So, Teflon, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, man. So let's talk about this card. Do you have anything you want to say about the pre-show? Like I said, I didn't watch it.
Yes, there's one thing two things I want to share about the pre-show. One, Triangle of Madness is lit. Please push them more. If you decided to do an AEW women's trios division instead of a tag division, just so that the Triangle of Madness could all be champs, I would be absolutely fine with it. I think that's probably a bad call, but I would be fine with it anyway. I think the Triangle of Madness is one of your coolest stables. One of the coolest stables you've had since the House of Black. Julia Hart was in both. Coincidence? I think not. The connection is it's a goth stable with like cool goth aesthetics, and I like that.
On account of how goth you are.
No, I'm not. I'm very much a standard operating nerd. I do wear a lot of black. But
he's wearing black lipstick right now, and he's got damage tattooed on his forehead.
I don't have that. My mom listens to this show. I do not have damage tattooed on my forehead.
I'm sorry. It's just damage.
Thank you. So, other than that, one other thing. Absolute disrespect not putting the Trios title on the main event. Look, not that the Trios title is built up enough to deserve the main event. I recognize that it's not. It's that you put it on the pre-show when they had literally just said, hey, we have less than 10 minutes left until the pre-show's over. And then you started the Trios title match. At least put it like first on the pre-show so that they might go a little while. You can't do me the common courtesy of lying to me, dog.
The Trios championships are a promise unfulfilled, and every time I see them, it makes me a little sad. Just a real quick run through of the results. Paragon, El Desperado, and Yuya Uemura defeated Crew and Hechicero and Josh Alexander. Gates of Agony and Ricochet beat Jet Speed and Michael Oku. Triangle of Madness with Megan Bain defeated Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale. The Ops defeated the Bullet Club War Dogs to retain their meaningless championships. And then we go into the main card. That opens with a Cope Open, Cope and Cage against Kip Sabian and the returned Kill Switch.
Still going by Kill Switch, huh? That's interesting. Be Luchasaurus again. Don't be Kill Switch. Kill Switch is a dumb name.
This is
based off the Unprettier. Don't be that guy.
This is the match. This is the storyline that those of you who followed me, listened to our last podcast on whatever the last pay-per-view was, may note that I was most full of hope for. And they immediately, violently flushed that hope down the toilet. And then it wouldn't flush. They just kept stomping on it and hitting the flusher more. And there's water and hope juice pouring out of the toilet. And they're looking at me desperately, still stomping, hoping I don't notice the hope I made. And then there was a pretty decent promo by Edge.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to make this storyline the thing it was. Besides Nick Wayne, either real life breaking something or kayfabe breaking something because he's not allowed out of the country. I don't know which one it is. It's probably one of those two things. But I do know that regardless of what backstage caused this to happen, this got over on vibes. no one involved in this except for Cope did anything to merit the reaction this match got.
I've been playing Metaphor Refantazio, and it's a fine game. But I've had a lot of people, news outlets, people I know personally, tell me that it's one of the greatest RPGs of all time. It isn't. It's fine. It's good. But like expecting it to be the most amazing thing ever, I was left a little flabbergasted. So I started asking around and doing some research. And a lot of the common sentiment I'm getting is that people who really like Atlas games are giving it weight that it hasn't earned just because it is an Atlas game, because it's playing like Persona or Shin Megami Tensei or what have you. Also, I heard that opinion about, I guess it's a trope? Oh, what's that? Didn't seem right. A stereotype about anime fans, that no matter how brainless the plot of an anime is, they will love it just because it is anime, even if they wouldn't love the exact same plot shown by flesh people.
That just seems correct based on my experience of people who are really into anime.
I watched the crowd slurp up this soup, this bad, cold, not even borscht, so that's how it's supposed to be served, soup. Gazpacho. One of the two. Maybe both.
Both.
And I was Mugatu. I was Jacobi Mugatu. I felt like I was taking crazy pills. They were just so happy to see Edge and Christian being friends-ish that they didn't care. Edge could have come out and gone, bum bum boo, my butt goes fart, and then handed the mic to Christian, and Christian could have gone, Dad. And that would have been the promo, and they would have been on their fucking feet.
Yeah, basically. This got over on vibes. Christian absolutely fucking tanked the first promo. Christian,
long first promo.
Christian is usually a really solid promo. Like, if you can like his character or not, but he normally knows what the fuck he's about. He knows how to do his job. He completely fucking tanked the first promo in this is after the last pay-per-view. It was long, it was rambling, it repeated itself, and it was made no point, and it was stupid. And no one cared. Fully, no one gave a single shit that he did a bad job. Edge came out and said, "Yeah, man," and then everyone cheered. And I cheered too. Whatever, I don't care. Edge and Christian are wrestling. I like Christian's character. I love his choice creatively, even if he didn't sell it well, to be like, you told me to go find myself, and I found myself. I'm perfect. I'm changing nothing. That's so in character and so peak like comedy that I can't be mad at it, even if he didn't execute it very well. Cope is having fun, and this match was always going to end with them winning. Them losing would have been just the dumbest possible call in the universe. Luchasaurus is back. I'm so glad he's back. I'm so glad he's not dead. And he showed up to specifically kill Christian Cage, and he didn't give a shit about anything else that was happening in the ring, and that was the right character decision for him.
It's such a bizarre... You explained it to me, and for this reason, I will apologize to everyone who has seen us in Journey of Wrestling do face-heel team versus face-heel team, because this shit is so difficult to feel right about. Like,
who am I supposed to be cheering for here?
Yeah, it's everyone sucks here but Edge.
But like, Luchasaurus doesn't. Luchasaurus came back and teamed with the person who let him beat up Christian. That's the face getting the heel. And Edge teamed up with his heel friend to kill this person who was bothering him because he wants his heel friend to hang out with him more. Honestly, of those two, Edge has the more, like...
Maybe I'm just older and I'm like, y'all are in a very toxic relationship and I don't think this is good for anyone.
Yes, that is kind of... that I think that might be the joke with Copeland and Edge.
It was a fine match.
With Copeland and Christian.
I would love to see Cope and Edge team up. I think that would be better than the guy he's teaming with now.
Look, yeah, I think that would be neat. But I think... I liked this match. It was fun. There was nothing to fucking write home about. No match on this card was bad. Full stop. There wasn't a bad match on the card. There just wasn't really any good ones either, except for one, which was phenomenal unexpectedly.
Yeah, I might as well move on. We've got Hiromu Takahashi going after the TNT Championship, which is held by Kyle, let me see how many wrestlers I can injure, speedrun, Fletcher, any percent. I don't like Kyle Fletcher anymore. But this was a good match.
Kyle Fletcher had some bad luck in the ring with injuries, with some guys who are already fairly injury prone. So Whitehair even hates him now and wants him to die.
It wasn't bad luck, I don't think. It was recklessness.
I saw the move that injured Cole. That was fine. He did that fine. It was just but shit happens.
Yeah, I saw the move that almost injured Cole, and
Look,
that
and
was recklessness.
if that one had injured him, you would have.
He wrestles very cocky, and I don't mean his character. I mean he's taken liberties, man, and this is not a place where you can cut those kind of corners. Otherwise, you destroy a person.
I would say that given that he's still being pushed, he's probably not pissed off anybody he's actually working with.
Well, you know, they took like 5 minutes to kick him in the balls repeatedly, so like I understand that might be a wash. And Adam Cole's the nicest person in the universe, so he probably forgave him before his brain even knew he was forgiving him.
I'm not even sure that you're wrong to blame Kyle for this situation. I don't work backstage. I don't know.
I am an AEW employee, so I know all these things. I just get them through my good twin Evil Uno.
But like, nothing here has crossed the line for me. Because look, if this were a different scenario, I absolutely would have the same opinion White does. For me personally, nothing has crossed the line that I'm upset with him on a personal level.
It's giving Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I understand why you.
And I still hate Seth Rollins.
You do.
Not just for injuring Sting and nearly ending his career, but also for being Seth Rollins.
He's a pro wrestler.
Yeah, and not a great example of it.
I love pro wrestling. A lot of pro wrestlers are fucking douchebags.
This was a pretty good match. Kyle Fletcher obviously retains his title. They're not going to give the TNT Championship to someone who doesn't go here.
This is the match that I had half of it explained to me, and it did help. So I enjoyed myself quite a bit. Again, perfectly fine match. Nothing to write home about. 3.5 frogs. Like, right down the line.
Yeah, that was most of the night. My match of the night was the next one. I don't know if you agree with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It's the best match on the card.
We had some guest wrestlers doing the actual Forbidden Door thing. Persephone, the standout Bozilla, some jobber, and Mercedes Moné, the TBS champion, who was defending her title in this contest.
White Raven hates Alex Windsor and wants her to die because she is too near Will Ospreay, who he also hates and wants to die.
I don't want her to die. Notice I didn't say that about Kyle Fletcher. No, that would be terrible, genuinely. He just needs to get better. Be better, that's all I ask. Alex Windsor is just... I don't know, man. I get so tired of people being like, get hype! The new hotness is here! And the new hotness is lukewarm room temperature.
Can you honestly tell me that it is not because she is married to Will Ospreay?
I was genuinely trying to give her a chance. Now, when I make fun of her, I will use that as subject matter. But it's not about that. It's just there. It's look, AEW's not taking anything but low-hanging fruit. Why shouldn't I?
Fair enough. This card had Timeless Toni Storm, who I love, and then Hangman Adam Page and MJF wrestling, as MJF so eloquently put it on a promo during this build. The main character of AEW and the main antagonist of AEW wrestled, and this match was my match of the night. The TBS title match was my match of the night.
Great chemistry between all these women. Persephone was nice to see. She has good stuff going on there. I'm not going to bury the lead anymore. Bojira has changed my life. Please don't go to WWE.
I mean, look, go wherever you can make your money. But like this 21-year-old is so astoundingly good already. She's got, as the kids say, aura. She has the look, she has the talent, she has the character, and most importantly, I want to give kudos to all the other women in this match who went so far out of their way to make Bozilla look like $1 million.
Yeah, everyone but Alex Windsor deserves that praise. Especially Bozilla. No, this was great. I enjoyed it. I wasn't even mad when Mercedes retained her title. I think it's good that she has a recovery.
Stupid if she didn't.
Sure. This was one where I thought there might be a chance, but like not really.
I did okay in the prediction contest. There were a couple calls I missed because I, thought maybe someone was less injured than they probably were, or just, didn't think something was likely, and turns out it was.
I think most of my flubs were on the pre-show, I'll be honest with you. But we move on to Nigel McGuinness trying to go after Zack Sabre Jr.'s IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.com.
For a certain selection of person, that person's from England, this is a lifelong dream match.
Or a Ring of Honor fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the kind of dream match that you write fan fiction about.
I was glad to see these guys wrestle. I am so used to seeing Orange Cassidy wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. that I wasn't ready for, and I mean this is no disrespect, I'm just stating facts, a slower, less high-octane Nigel McGuinness. Nigel
McGuinness seems like a self-aware enough guy that he would go, yes, Orange Cassidy is in fact younger than me. What about it?
That's all. I just, this kind of didn't put me to sleep, but I was not invested.
This was a very technical wrestling
It was a
match.
very technical.
This was a 17-minute technical classic. It was probably the best technically wrestled match on the card by a fair margin, but I only kind of like Zack Sabre Jr., and I love Nigel as a commentator, but I'm emotionally connected to him from Journey of Wrestling, and that's not, I'm connected to, like, some of the people on the pre-show from, like, Michael Oku I have a connection from Journey of Wrestling, and that's about the same level of emotional investment.
Of course, Zack retained his title.
Again, absolutely insane to make the other call, so yeah.
We come to a three-way tag team match that was pretty good until the finish. I'm struggling to remember a lot of it.
I would say if it weren't for the fact that the finish was a little, they botched it. I mean, look, no use putting lipstick on a pig. They botched it, but they...
What if you want the pig to be pretty?
Well, in this case, I don't. I want the pig to be a pig. It can be itself. It's okay. They fucked up the finish.
What if the pig wants to be pretty?
Well, that's the pig's decision. But that's okay. The rest of the match was super fun.
Yeah.
I did not think that Brodito was going over.
You willed this to happen. This power is in your hands.
I'm very happy about it. Like, I would have been happy with the Hurt Syndicate to retain. I would have been happy with Brodito winning. I actually want FTR to win.
I'm conflicted. I've been making jokes about this on our Discord, but like I am genuinely conflicted because there's all this scuttlebutt going on that the Hurt Syndicate have heat backstage. I'm not going to give detail to all the scuttlebutt. You can find it yourself. Internet's a big book.
We actually aren't a wrestling dirt sheet, so that's not really our job.
And my feelings on FTR are kind of mixed. I didn't think they were going to win because if they won, then their fight with Edge and Christian would have been about the titles. And I didn't see them hot-shotting the titles to FTR and then to Edge and Christian.
This is actually the same reason I wanted FTR. I didn't want FTR to win. I have nothing against FTR. It's that their story with Edge doesn't need the titles, so they don't need the titles.
But as much as I am happy for Bandito, a wrestler I really like, and Brody King, a wrestler I'm fond of, winning the titles, it is a thrown together tag team going over actual tag teams, and that bothers me.
I will say that the Hurt Syndicate is exactly as much of a thrown together tag team as Brodito.
They paid their dues as a tag team though. Like they originally in WWE when they got together were, not a tag team, and Bobby Lashley was the standout of that. But like they did WWE stuff for so long, and they've basically been a tag team since they showed up in AEW.
Every tag team has to start somewhere.
I wish our tag team champions, I don't know, had a gimmick, had a better name than Burrito with some different letters. They gave them music and Trons for the pay-per-view, which I appreciate.
And those are all valid criticisms. Calling them thrown together I don't think is valid, because that is true of almost all tag teams at first.
There's like a line, though. Like, it's really nebulous, and I will grant you that. And I can't. I have mixed feelings. I'm not actually as mad about it as I joke to be. I'm happy for these guys. They're both.
I'm stunned that Brody King gets to win wrestling matches again.
Yeah.
He didn't get to do that for a long time. And now he gets to win them. It's still, tag and, multi-man matches. I'd like to see Brody with a singles title at some point. Bandito's fine. He's the Ring of Honor World Champion. He's fine. But
he still lives in the shadow of his younger brother, and that's rough for him. But, we all have our own struggles, and this is nice. Maybe the tag titles will help elevate him even further.
And I will say, my one dip into the dirt sheet realm, if the reason that they had the finish go off the way it did was, we'll say, to protect the Hurt Syndicate, regardless of who wanted to do that. I think that's probably a good way to do that, actually.
Oh, I think that's fine. I think that's the smartest thing to do here, because you want to keep the Hurt Syndicate looking good, and depending on what happens after this, they might not want them to feud with either of these guys afterward, or at least broom it pretty fast.
And more so, Brodino's fun. I wheeled them to victory in their match against the Young Bucks purely so I didn't have to watch Young Bucks and FTR wrestle again. I did not think they were winning this, and they need a new finisher. Their current finisher is cool. It's cool as a specialty move, I would say. They can't do it. They cannot consistently hit it. Broom it. Do something you can do.
I mean, it just needs practice. I'm sure they'll get good at it. They have been a tag team
really hard
for less than a month.
Look at the move. That shit looks really difficult.
It does.
Maybe do an easier variant. I don't know, man. Y'all consistently fuck it up a lot, and you fucked it up on the thing where you did the thing where you won the title. Maybe, I don't know. If you're committed to it, lock in.
Hey, yeah, 3 weeks as tag team, that makes it rough. I'm time will tell, I guess. We move on to another match I don't have a whole lot to say about. Kazuchika Okada defending his Unified Championship, which is a terrible name, against Swerve Strickland.
Is this the first time? No, it was the last one. Was the Unified Championship match. It's been on pay-per-view before. I've done my big rant about how the title is a straight downgrade from the previous title.
Yeah, when Kenny and Okada
it's just straight downgrade, just worse. And they still have Don Callis bringing out the cooler, better title belts, and that's not actually a good idea because it just reminds me how dumb the current one looks in comparison. So, that. This is a call I missed because I thought Swerve Strickland maybe wasn't as injured as they were, lining out that he was. But, guess he was.
He's been injured since WWE.
Yeah, but at that point, that's just you.
And he's taken time off to nurse it. I mean, kudos to him for doing everything he's done with a bum wheel. I hope he heals up. I hope he practices his in front of people promos while he's gone. And I like good things for him. I'm not a huge fan of Swerve Strickland, but I would like to be.
He won me over the long course of the, big Hangman Swerve feud, and also his entrances are fire. And so I really want good things for him. If he needs some time off to recuperate, get, worked on, get surgery if you need it, recover, come back full steam ahead, full, ready to go. I'd love to see him with another world title run. I think he absolutely did a great job the first time, so.
I like Okada. I don't really like his position in the company right now, but I like him in general, so I'm glad he won in that sense. We next have Athena cashing in her Casino Gauntlet contract against Timeless Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship.
This should have been in top contention for one of my matches of the night because I really like Athena and I love Toni Storm. Toni Storm is the best wrestler AEW has in terms of character. Second best in terms of character overall. But that's high praise. But this match itself, there's this problem, right? I really like Athena's character. I really like her current, the bratty fucking heel she's playing. I loved Ember Moon back in the day. I think she's got a great look. I think she's got cool moves. She doesn't always have good ring chemistry with people, and it's a reliable enough problem that I think it might be a problem. because this match just didn't sing for me.
I think it's a problem with Toni Storm as well, because while she has improved, she's not the best in ring, is Toni Storm. She's got a really simple style. Criticisms that were leveled against Stone Cold Steve Austin in the latter half of his career, take that for everything I mean with it.
In that they are criticisms from indie weirdos and don't recognize what fucking sheer charisma is.
Well, I mean that in the sense that the man wasn't the most amazing wrestler. He was good, but like in terms of wrestling, in terms of the
Stone Cold is absolutely the case study for you don't have to be the most amazing wrestler.
Exactly, and that is a part of my point. Toni Storm doesn't have to be phenomenal in the ring because she's got such a good character and she's got such a presence.
Yeah, Toni Storm don't gotta be Ricochet. She has to be Toni Storm.
Yes. I really struggling, and this was just yesterday we watched this. I'm struggling to remember much of this match.
That's what I mean. It's not like they did a bad job. Again, there were no bad matches on this card. It's that this match wasn't astonishingly memorable, except for Tony's fit. And that...
Yeah.
You don't want that to actually be the most memorable thing from your match.
The spot where they turned off and then back on the LED board by smashing
that was very funny. Yeah. That was very funny. You're right about that.
Billy Starks was fun. It was nice to see Mina come out and defend Tony. But, like, in terms of the moves, the work rate, I'm a little blank. There was some good stuff, though. I remember liking it at the time.
This is a damned by fame praise situation. This was a fine match. I liked watching it. It didn't thrill me.
It was even a fine pay-per-view match, I need to stress.
Yeah, it wasn't like a good Dynamite. This would have been a phenomenal match for a Dynamite.
I think that goes for the whole card.
Absolutely. Like I said, this card didn't disappoint me at all. It delivered if I went to a restaurant and ordered food and they gave me this food, I would walk away going, that's what I paid for. I got my money's worth.
I would not have ordered this food. I would have ordered a different, better food.
I understand that. But, like... If I ordered this food, I walked away satisfied with what I got for my money. Absolutely. Nothing about the meal. I walked that meal off and never thought about it again, as it were. And I'm going to do a thing that I have not done in many, many, many moons because I haven't needed to. I have a very small, very eensy-weensy criticism of Toni Storm. I have seen Toni Storm wrestle this exact match about 7 times now, which is Toni Storm is fighting a new challenger who is stronger than her, and she's on the back foot the whole time, and she gets beat up and 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 then snags victory from the jaws of defeat. I love the match. Don't get me wrong. Look, Toni, it's a hit. Keep playing the hits. I understand. Brings the people in. Have we thought of some new material?
Yeah, no, AEW doesn't think of new material.
I've seen. Now, Toni Storm has new material in her heart. Not every match has to be the Hollywood ending, but the Hollywood ending exists. Like, I've seen her wrestle other matches, is all I'm saying.
You have a good point there. Toni retains, obviously. This was nice while it lasted. We'll see if it keeps going. I don't know. Our actual main event that wasn't completely illegal, and maybe the police should have been there on account of how they announced it to the world, is MJF, Maxwell, Jacob Friedman, challenging for the AEW World Championship against Hangman, Adam Page. In a match where if Page was counted out or disqualified, he would have lost the title.
So, yeah. There's been a problem with MJF recently. Hanger, you're beautiful. You have done no sins. Yeah. I love you. Continue. Grow your beautiful garden. There's been a problem with MJF recently. MJF has been booked like a fucking loser geek for like 6 months. And that's... in a certain context, actually just fine. Him being kind of a loser geek is good for that character. You need that aspect of him for him to be an effective heel. But you also need the aspect of him where he is a clever, cunning, and very talented pro wrestler who can win matches against, strong competitors. He has been booked as a loser geek who is also a bitch, like specifically Bobby Lashley's bitch, for like 6 months or whatever. Or it feels like it's been 6 months. I'll be fair. Might not have been that long.
I think it's only been 2, maybe 3.
It feels like it's been 19 years. But so MJF needed something to make him look cool and good. To reestablish that MJF is actually a top-tier talent deserving of a world title match.
The answer was attempted murder.
The first answer was to have Hangman, not an unclever person, completely fucking bamboozle and work him at what MJF is supposed to be best at, which is promoing and getting under someone's skin. And that was a missed call. I'm perfectly comfortable saying that. I like to see it was funny to see it because I like Hangman and like to see good things happen to him, but it was a missed call for the booking of MJF. So they had to correct for that. Their best answer in how to correct for that was to have MJF commit attempted murder in the first degree. Commit something that probably comes with at least 20 years in prison. Not for if he had succeeded, just for what he did. I want to be clear. And
it was all so bizarre, and this is the worst built match on the card.
I don't disagree.
And it's not because they didn't put effort into it. In fact, it's because they put too much effort into it.
I understand the desire, and people have tried to light people on fire in AEW before. It's kind of been brought in that's a thing that's on the table. You kind of got to roll with that, but you got to build up to it, dog. You need some pregame there. You need some foreplay before you get to the lighting people on fire stage of the feud. Hangman had 17 years of feud with Swerve before he lit an empty house on fire. You had 3 weeks of feud with Hangman before you tried to kill a man. To be fair, that man was Mark Briscoe, who had been a bother to you for some time now.
And had been announcing he was going to kill MJF.
He had stated that he was in fact having to physically stop himself from killing MJF. It's not that it doesn't make sense. It's that it was sudden.
The escalation was crazy. That was nuts.
And I love it for MJF's character. I love his little speech about we'll see if they like it when MJF likes things on fire too, or if just when Hangman does it. Because one, that's a funny line, and two, it so fundamentally conveys what MJF doesn't understand about why people like Hangman. He break rule, you cheer. I break rule, you boo. They are same.
This match had a lot of good parts to it. The finish was really overbooked, even for the stipulation.
I disagree. I think the finish was exactly as overbooked as is almost demanded by this specific stipulation. The stipulation being basically Hangman loses his champion's advantage. And like, that's a fine stip, actually. Mm-hmm. And this is the kind of finish that stip calls for. Like, when you purchase that stipulation, this comes free.
This is...
Because if they had put that in and this sort of bullshit hadn't happened, why put it in?
Oh, I still think there should have been a lot of stuff about getting counted out or disqualified. There was just a lot of crap that happened toward the end. It was a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people came out. There was there were false finishes. There was a ref bump.
It was just, and there were a couple of things that really pressed against the walls of my suspension of disbelief, and I would rather you not do that.
Speak to that. What are those?
Jesus, I can't remember this show.
That's fair.
I would love to tell you I remember having them at the time, but just certain things with pacing, certain things. I think the ref bump in specific. I don't remember exactly what it was about it, but it was very TNA. It was very PG era WWE in terms of the ref just getting up and deciding to make dumb fucking decisions.
Bryce Remsburg is usually smarter than this. He's usually actually booked as a really good ref.
And he's my favorite referee. I'm remembering now. My memory is coming back. When he counted the finish where Hangman had his foot on the ropes and he missed the foot on the ropes, they didn't ring the bell.
Because he hadn't called for them to ring the bell.
Which they've never done before.
No, that was new, and I was confused because that's not how wrestling works.
It's not how AEW has ever worked.
You gotta adhere to the interior rules of your universe.
Bryce fell asleep, woke up, and Hangman's foot was on the ropes and was like, oh, I guess it was there the whole time.
Which that doesn't follow. That was literally Bryce just going, hey, you know what? Fuck you. I know what you are. Pointing at MJF going, I know what kind of man you are.
Yeah, and that's a good spot, but it was better with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And that was portrayed better with that and the
specifically the foot on the ropes thing was over-egged. You know what? With on reflection, with your explanation, I don't know that I can really disagree. Specifically the bottom of the foot on the ropes thing was over-egged. Especially because Hanger's arm was under that rope the whole time.
And I feel like that, and Bryce, while counting, is slowly sliding so that he can't see the foot on the rope, which is a cool move on him from a behind-the-scenes perspective.
Very skilled.
Yes, but also, come on, man.
Stop it. Come on.
It was just a lot of, Excalibur on commentary might as well have said, now remember, if the referee accidentally skids to the side and can't see someone's foot on the ropes, then he has 10 minutes to decide whether or not the match really happened or not. It was just not, it wasn't
That part specifically, you know what, that's actually a very fair criticism.
And that's on top of the other stuff. So it's not, isolated, it can be like the end of the Brodito match where, you guys fucked up one thing, shit happens, whatever. But this was on top of all of the run-ins and the, booking that made Dusty Rhodes happy. And I ain't him. That's not me. But it was a good match. They made a chicken sandwich out of chicken shit. I'll say that.
I did really like the match. The protagonist versus the antagonist, the main character and the arch villain of AEW is never gonna not have my buy-in. But it should have been match of the night, especially with how much of an unmitigated mark I am for both of these people. That it wasn't perhaps says something.
Our final contest that was for some reason broadcast on pay-per-view, despite being illegal.
Well, I mean, look, if people are going to do it, you might as well make money.
Oh, I'm not arguing about that. That's a joke because it was a lights out steel cage match. And I kind of like the gimmick, but I think they've been using it too much.
I cannot remember the last time they had a lights out match.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. I'm not going to Google it right now because we're already over time, but look it up yourselves, listener, and I'll look it up after the podcast.
Was it it feels like it was Orange Cassidy 3 years ago.
No, it's within the last 6 months. I'm almost positive. I might be wrong, and it was January, and that's 8 months, but it was this year, I think. Regardless, I'm just making jokes. It's a fine stipulation. We had Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay fighting Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Josh Alexander, I think. No, wait. This is that new guy. Gabe Kidd.
I want you to know he is looking at the Wikipedia page. This is intentional disrespect.
Yes. I'm tired of all these bald guys with little beards who act weird.
As a bald guy with a little beard who acts weird, I'm tired of us too.
I have one. And I'm willing to make concessions for Dax because he's got a mustache, not a beard. So that's it. We're full up. Get out. I hate this for so many reasons. It's not the worst book match on the card, but I still hate it.
If we edited this podcast, there would be a clip of Val Kilmer here saying it just raises too many questions. The face team, the heel team is just the Death Riders and their sidekicks, the Young Bucks, and this wild man they found.
They're paid mercenary Gabe Kidd.
They're paid little
Tongaloa.
Yeah. And the face team, Will Ospreay makes absolute sense. Will Ospreay wants vengeance against the Death Riders. He's hated them for a long time. And he's, wants to have a match in his hometown. Of course he does. Darby Allin makes absolute sense. He wants to eat Jon Moxley's soul or whatever. From there, in reducing order of making sense as to why the fuck you are here. Kota Ibushi, makes sense. Kenny Omega's here. He goes wherever Kenny goes, perfectly reasonable. But then Kenny Omega, who they finally explained why the fuck he was in this match on the day of the card. Until then, it was just, and also, Poochie is here. Fucking, he was just killed, but he lived. And they explained on the day it was because he wasn't cleared to compete at Forbidden Door, and this is the only way he could get on the card, so he decided to do it. That's actually extremely cool. That's an extremely cool reason. Sure, I'll compete in this death match. I want to wrestle, and you won't let me. So I'll do the lights out match, whatever. And then his boyfriend comes with him, because they're a package deal. And then Hiroshi Tanahashi. Who let Granddad in the ring?
Most of Hiroshi Tanahashi. His knees, sadly, could not make it to the pay-per-view.
They could not make it to this year.
All respect to Hiroshi Tanahashi.
No, the guy's a legend. Yeah. He's, the president of New Japan or whatever. He's absolutely beloved, deservedly so. I, obviously, is not a New Japan guy. I have not seen all his best work. I've only ever seen him wrestle as an old man. But having said all of that, Granddad shouldn't be in the death match.
He really didn't want to touch the barbed wire.
And who would?
Well, sure. Mox, but otherwise, yeah.
Grandpa... Lieutenant Dan with his magic space leg should not be in the death match. When the people in the death match, partway through the death match, have to stop Granddad from committing seppuku by throwing himself off the highest thing possible so that his knees rocket into the fifth row
through their giant cage.
When the other faces have to stop him from doing that, that is in fact an indication that he shouldn't have been in this match.
It was a pretty funny spot, though.
It was a hilarious spot, but it was a reflection of reality. What are you fucking doing here, Grandpa?
Well, and I want to try to be brief because I appreciate you guys being here. I know the longer it goes on, retention falls off. But I do want to give this its flowers and its criticisms because, you guys are following us on this journey, and I want to make sure there's continuity. The fact that the Death Riders and Jon Moxley aren't gone is stupid. I understand why. They probably want to give that victory to Darby Allin. Although if that's the reason the face team winning at this pay-per-view is stupid. But they should have been gone at least temporarily after Hanger won the belt.
I think we've made that clear.
I mean we haven't had a pay-per-view since then, have we?
I guess not. That was we've bitched long and loud about it in the Discord.
Yeah. And I'm willing to. You know what?
They did the Hanger and Mox run back match, and we bitched about that in the Discord too. But that was on like a Dynamite.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
It's just a bizarre series of choices. It's from a storytelling perspective, I don't understand. I sure as hell would not have done any of this stuff. And then this weird-ass cage match, which I get from a booking perspective why it's on there. We're going to England. We want to have all of our best guys on the show. That will make us lots of money. But, the effort they put into making it make sense was so token.
It was just the step above of look at all these action figures I found. I'm going to smash them together now. You guys want to see? They went a step above that, but it was, in fact, one step.
Yeah, I don't... There were cool spots. There was a horrifying spot.
What the fuck is wrong with Darby Allin and Jon Moxley? What is wrong with you? I'm one of the sickos. I'm for it. Go forth, you fucking psychopaths. Do your crazy bullshit. So long as everyone consents, go for it. But also, get therapy.
Yeah. Yeah, the faces went over. Will Ospreay stands triumphant and bathes in the cheers of the hometown crowd. And then everyone beats the crap out of him.
And the faces put forth the most token possible effort to stop him from being killed. And then eventually they stop even trying and just kind of all stand there and watch him be killed.
Yeah, they're fended off by one Wheeler Yuta with a kendo stick.
Slapping them on their fingies when they try and climb.
Which they approach like ninjas in an action movie one at a time. While Marina Shafir scales the cage to help her senpai John Moxley beat the crap out of this guy. It's just a weird choices narratively.
The match itself was a fun garbage match. Like, it was a fun, absolute bloodbath with psychotic spots in it. And AEW puts on about one of those a pay-per-view, it seems like, and this one was good.
I was really having fun in the beginning with the gummy bears and the silliness and the Hanson. I enjoyed that a lot. If you guys have been here, you know I like dumb 90s WWE hardcore matches where people take salad tongs and bowling balls to the balls.
But then they started bringing out the utensils.
And I was less. That part of me died at some point, and
I'm one of the sickos. It was startling, but whatever, I'm for it. But the match itself was, again, not perfectly good, but the way should have been better with how much people injured themselves for it. Now, Swerve and Ospreay are probably both gone for a long time, actually.
Swerve probably less time than Ospreay. Ospreay's getting, like, neck surgery or some crap.
Yeah, you never know, but hopefully swift recoveries to both.
Oh, yeah, Wardlow came out and killed somebody. Was that Swerve?
No, he came out and killed Prince Nana.
Oh, that's right.
After Swerve's match. Yeah. I didn't think to comment on it because I don't give a shit. He just became another replaceable cog in the Don Callis family. An excellent spot for Wardlow to be. Don Callis family grows +1 member. Wonderful. Don Callis deserves all the success in the universe. He's the best heel manager in the business. I mean that shit, by the way.
I ain't arguing.
So I just sort of skipped over it because who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's worth commentating. Let us know in the comments if you give a shit. Like and subscribe if you don't give a shit. If you're kind of middling on the whole affair, share this show with your friends.
Get their input.
Yeah. Anything you want to close us out with? Because I give you the closing line.
You know what? This show wasn't the best, but it was fun time, and I'm looking forward to more wrestling.